There are changes happening inside the body that often go unnoticed until they begin to interfere with daily life. Many seniors assume is just normal aging is often the accumulation of hidden problems that build up slowly over time. The real issue is not simply the years passing. Body responds to stress, diet, medications, and lifestyle choices. Hidden problems is that the systems in the body that once adapted quickly and bounced back easily begin to lose their efficiency, don't recover as fast, circulation slows down, digestion becomes less effective, and the way the body processes nutrients changes. Silent shifts can leave a person more vulnerable even when they think they're doing all the right things. Think about how a car runs smoothly when it's brand new. The engine responds quickly, the brakes work without hesitation, and everything is aligned. But after decades of use, even if the car is well maintained, parts begin to wear down. Oil becomes thicker, spark plugs weaken, and the fuel system isn't as clean. At first, these changes don't cause noticeable issues, but eventually they add up. The body works in much the same way. What's hidden beneath the surface are processes that seem minor, but gradually influence energy, strength, and resilience in ways most people don't realize until it's too late. One reason this hidden problem grows worse with age is because of how the body handles inflammation. A younger body has stronger anti-inflammatory systems and can repair tissue damage quickly. As the years pass, however, the balance shifts. Grade inflammation becomes more common, even if it's not visible on the outside. This inflammation silently interferes with the way the heart pumps, recover, and the way nerves send signals. For many seniors, this hidden inflammation is a major driver of fatigue, pain, or weakness. The problem is not that the body has given up, it's that it is sending warning signals that are often ignored. Another overlooked factor is nutrient absorption. Someone eats the same foods they always have, the body may not be able to extract and use nutrients as effectively as before, partly due to changes in stomach acid, enzyme production, and the health of the gut lining. Gave energy and strength may now leave a person feeling tired because the body isn't pulling out what it needs. Hidden decline in nutrient absorption creates deficiencies that slowly weaken muscles, bones, and the immune system. Seniors often wonder why they feel drained despite eating well, and the reason often lies in this unseen shift. Medications add another layer to this problem. Many prescriptions are helpful and necessary. They also come with side effects that can interfere with nutrient absorption, circulation, or muscle health. 70-year-old processes drugs differently than the body of a 30-year-old. What seems like a helpful pill may actually be contributing to fatigue, weakness, digestive problems without the person realizing it. This hidden stressor is rarely connected to symptoms. People continue with their routine unaware that the solution may also be part of the problem. Lifestyle patterns also feed into this. A sedentary routine slowly reduces circulation and muscle mass, creating a cycle where weakness leads to less activity, and less activity leads to further weakness. The body requires constant signaling through movement to keep systems sharp. Without it, muscles shrink, balance declines, and energy drops. This process happens gradually, so it's easy to miss until it suddenly becomes obvious when walking, climbing stairs, or carrying groceries. The hidden problem is not aging itself, but the quiet, compounding effects of these overlooked factors: chronic inflammation, nutrient malabsorption, medication side effects, and reduced physical activity. Alone, each issue seems minor, but together they accelerate decline. The good news is that once these hidden issues are recognized, they can be addressed with small but consistent changes in diet, movement, and lifestyle. The key is awareness. By uncovering what is really happening beneath the surface, seniors can take back control of their health and keep their body functioning far better than they may believe possible. The reason it matters now, more than ever: time magnifies small problems. What may have been harmless or easy to ignore at 50 becomes a much bigger deal at 70. The body is less forgiving, able to bounce back from stress or mistakes. The same habits that once seemed to have no effect suddenly begin to show their consequences. This is not meant to frighten, but to highlight that this stage of life is when awareness matters most. Decisions made now carry greater weight because the margin for error is smaller and the rewards for making good choices are much higher. At this age, the hidden issues that have been quietly building for decades start revealing themselves in more obvious ways. Fatigue lingers longer, recovery takes more time, aches or imbalances seem to appear without warning. It matters now because the earlier these problems are identified, opportunity there is to correct them before they become severe. Crisis forces change is always more difficult than addressing issues while there is still strength and flexibility to work with. In other words, optional, it is essential. Another reason this moment matters is the reality of independence. Most seniors deeply value being able to move. Think assistance. Maintaining that independence depends heavily on health decisions made right now. A gradual decline in muscle strength, balance, circulation may not feel urgent at first, exactly those slow changes that determine whether someone continues living freely in their own home or needs increasing levels of care. The small daily choices, added together, shape that future. By acting now, it is possible to preserve freedom, mobility, and confidence for many years ahead. Also, the matter of quality of life. Health is not only about living longer, but about living better. At 70, 80, and beyond, don't want just more years, they want good years. They want to wake up with energy, to move without pain, to enjoy meals without digestive struggles, to connect with family without the cloud of brain fog. These things are not luxuries, they are the essentials that give life richness and joy, are still within reach, but only if the hidden issues are addressed now instead of later. Everyday matters. Steps taken today can translate into significant improvements in the months and years to come. Matters now because this is a stage where the body's natural reserves are lower. That means stress, illness, or poor choices hit harder than before. A fall can lead to serious consequences. A simple infection can linger longer. A new medication may create stronger side effects. These realities can feel discouraging, make clarity and action more powerful. By focusing attention on the most important aspects of health, nutrition, movement, rest, stress management, seniors can dramatically reduce their vulnerability. Even though the body has changed, it still responds beautifully to the right care, faster than expected. This is also a time when legacy and relationships take center stage. Seniors are not just thinking about themselves, but about the people they love. Staying strong, sharp, and present means being able to fully enjoy time with children, grandchildren, and friends. It means participating in life instead of sitting on the sidelines, sharing wisdom and creating memories rather than being held back by fatigue or illness. For many, this is the most powerful reason it matters now, directly shapes the ability to love and give to others. Finally, it matters now because every choice compounds. Is like a bank account, the deposits and withdrawals add up. In earlier decades, withdrawals could be made with little visible consequence, but now is more sensitive, and every deposit of good nutrition, movement, rest, and positive habits makes a visible difference. Taken in the right direction at this stage pays off more than it ever did before. That is why awareness, action, consistency matter so much in this moment of life. The body may be older, but the opportunity to strengthen, protect, and restore it has never been more urgent or more rewarding. What to avoid becomes just as important as what to do, especially as the years advance. At this stage, more sensitive, more reactive, and less forgiving of poor choices. Avoiding certain habits, substances, and patterns can protect strength, energy, and independence. Spend their time searching for the next supplement or health routine, but often the biggest gains come not from adding more, from removing the things that quietly drain health day after day. One of the first things to avoid is unnecessary medication. While prescriptions can be life-saving, many seniors find themselves taking pills for minor issues that could be better managed with lifestyle changes. Each added medication increases the risk of side effects, interactions, and stress on the liver and kidneys. The danger is not only in what the drug does, in what it prevents, the masking of symptoms that signal deeper problems. Instead of automatically reaching for a pill, it's worth asking, is there a safer, simpler way to address this issue? Sometimes the answer is yes, and that shift can make all the difference. Another thing to avoid is chronic sitting. In a chair, weaken muscles, slow circulation, and stiffen joints. Movement is not just about exercise, it's about life itself. Long periods of stillness protects the heart, brain, and bones. Even short walks, gentle stretches, standing during phone calls can break up the damaging cycle of inactivity. Seniors who avoid a sedentary lifestyle often find that their balance improves, energy returns, even their mood lifts. The body is designed to move, and avoiding long stretches of sitting keeps it alive and responsive. Highly processed foods are another hidden enemy worth avoiding. Packaged snacks, sugary drinks, refined carbs, and artificial additives create a storm of inflammation in the body. They rob energy, destabilize blood sugar, and accelerate aging at the cellular level. Not need these foods. In fact, they only make it work harder to protect itself. Replacing them with whole foods, fresh vegetables, clean proteins, healthy fats removes a constant source of stress from the system. Avoiding these processed products often feels difficult at first, but the rewards of clearer thinking, better digestion, and stable energy quickly outweigh the temporary comfort they bring. It is also wise to avoid chronic stress. Stress is more than an emotional burden. Hormones, heart health, and immune function. Living under constant tension ages the body faster than almost any other factor. Seniors who carry worry about family, finances, or health itself can feel trapped in a cycle of anxiety. Avoiding stress does not mean ignoring life's problems. Shifting perspective and protecting time for rest, calm, and joy. Breathing practices, gentle walks, and meaningful conversation can all help reduce the load. To avoid unnecessary stress is as powerful as any diet or exercise plan. Another subtle danger to avoid is poor sleep habits. Accept insomnia or restless nights as a normal part of aging, but sleep is not optional. It is the body's repair mode. Avoiding late night screen use before bed or over-reliance on stimulants can dramatically improve sleep quality. Restful sleep strengthens memory, mood, and even heart function. By avoiding the things that disrupt rest, seniors allow the body's natural healing systems to work the way they were designed. Finally, it is important to avoid neglecting connection. Isolation is as damaging to health as smoking or poor diet. Seniors who withdraw, who avoid community, who stay too long in silence often see their health decline more quickly. Human connection strengthens the immune system, lowers stress hormones, and keeps the mind sharp. Avoiding isolation is not always easy, especially when mobility or confidence is limited, but making even small efforts, phone calls, social groups, volunteering can bring life back to the heart and energy to the body. What to avoid, then, is not about restriction, but about protection. By removing the daily habits, foods, that silently weaken the body, seniors give themselves the freedom to feel stronger, lighter, and more capable. Avoiding the unnecessary makes space for the essential. It opens the door to better energy, better mood, and better years ahead. Every avoided mistake is a step toward vitality, and at this stage of life, those steps are worth more than ever. The better choice is rarely the most complicated one. In fact, often the small, simple shifts that create the largest impact over time. When it comes to senior health, the body does not necessarily need more treatments, more pills, complex routines. It needs smarter, cleaner, and more consistent care. The better choice is about trading what drains life for what restores it, recognizing that health is not built in a single day, but in daily decisions that accumulate quietly and powerfully. Better choices is moving from medication dependence to lifestyle support whenever possible. While certain prescriptions are essential and life-saving, conditions can be improved or even reversed with changes in diet, movement, and stress management. Choosing fresh food over packaged meals, walking daily instead of sitting for hours, and practicing simple relaxation techniques can reduce the need for extra medications. This doesn't mean abandoning necessary care, but it does mean working with the body rather than constantly layering drugs over symptoms. choice is to prioritize natural, nutrient-dense foods over processed convenience. The body thrives on what is alive and whole: vegetables, lean proteins, nuts, seeds, fruits, and healthy fats. These foods are medicine in their own right, supplying the body with the vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants it needs to repair, restore. By making this choice daily, seniors notice stronger immunity, sharper thinking, and steadier energy. The better choice is not about strict diets or heavy restrictions, but about leaning toward foods that nourish instead of those that deplete. Movement is also a better choice, even if only in gentle forms. Instead of long periods of sitting, choosing to stand, stretch, or walk a few minutes every hour can completely change circulation, balance, strength. The better choice here is consistency over intensity. Short daily movement beats occasional bursts of heavy exercise, responds beautifully to even modest efforts when done regularly. Seniors who choose daily walking, light strength work, stretching often find themselves regaining confidence, stability, and mobility they thought were gone for good. Sleep, too, requires better choices. Instead of ignoring rest, relying on caffeine, or pushing through fatigue, seniors can choose habits that encourage deep, restorative sleep. Screens an hour before bed, keeping a regular sleep routine, and limiting heavy meals or stimulants late in the day can transform sleep quality. This choice pays back in clearer memory, better mood, and stronger immune defenses. Rest is not wasted time, it is essential healing, is to respect the body's need for it. Social connection represents another powerful better choice. Instead of withdrawing into isolation, the effort to connect with friends, family, or community groups keeps the mind and spirit strong. Human connection lowers stress, strengthens resilience, extends lifespan. Choosing connection over isolation can be as simple as joining a walking group, calling a friend, or volunteering. These actions may feel small, they carry tremendous weight in maintaining health and happiness. The better choice also includes how stress is handled. Instead of letting worry and tension accumulate, adopt practices that bring calm. Breathing exercises, light meditation, journaling, or simply spending time in nature can reduce the stress load that silently wears down the body. Stress may never disappear, but the better choice is not to let it dominate. Wisely protects the heart, the brain, and the immune system. Finally, the better choice is about perspective. Choosing to see health as something within reach, something already lost, is powerful. Believing that change is still possible opens the door to action. Seniors who embrace this mindset often discover energy, joy, possibilities they did not expect. The better choice is not about chasing youth, but about strengthening the present, making each day as vibrant as possible. What to eat, how to move, when to rest, how to respond to stress adds up. The better choice is not a single moment of discipline, but a continuous leaning toward what nourishes and away from what depletes. A gentle but steady alignment with health, one that honors the body's needs instead of fighting against them. For seniors, these choices are the difference between merely surviving and truly living. The better choice is always available, and each time it is made, the body closer to strength, clarity, and freedom. Daily application does not have to be overwhelming or complicated. In fact, the easier it is, the more likely it will stick. Seniors often worry that improving their health requires dramatic changes, strict rules, or expensive routines. The truth is, small, repeatable actions done consistently, when broken into simple steps, the process feels manageable and even enjoyable. The key is to take what might feel abstract and turn it into practical, everyday habits that blend seamlessly into normal life. Easiest applications begins with food choices. Instead of overhauling the entire diet at once, start with one meal. For example, can be transformed into a foundation for energy and healing by including protein, healthy fats, and nutrient-dense options. Swapping out a sugary pastry for eggs with vegetables or oatmeal with nuts and seeds is a small shift that creates huge long-term benefits. Once this habit feels natural, can be improved in the same way. The better approach is to focus on progress rather than perfection, stacking small improvements over time. Hydration is another daily application that requires very little effort, but makes a noticeable difference. Many seniors live in a state of mild dehydration without realizing it, leading to fatigue, poor digestion, and even joint pain. Carrying a reusable water bottle and sipping throughout the day can correct this easily. A slice of lemon or cucumber makes it more refreshing and encourages consistency. A reminder into daily routines, such as drinking a glass of water after brushing teeth or before meals, ensures hydration becomes second nature. Often perceived as complicated exercise routines, but in reality it can be woven into daily life with ease. After meals helps control blood sugar, improves circulation, and strengthens the heart. Light stretching in the morning loosens stiff joints and sets the tone for the day. Chair exercises while watching television or simple balance drills while waiting for water to boil are all effective ways to stay active. Is not intensity but frequency, choosing movement over stillness whenever possible. These tiny decisions add up, giving seniors more energy, stability. Rest and recovery can also be made simple through daily rituals. Instead of worrying about sleep problems, create a consistent wind-down routine. Bright screens an hour before bed, sipping calming herbal tea, and practicing deep breathing can train the body to recognize bedtime as a time for rest. Even short daytime naps, when done wisely, can refresh the brain without disturbing nighttime sleep. Protecting rest is not a luxury, but a necessity. It into the daily schedule ensures the body has time to restore itself. Stress management, though often overlooked, can also be simplified by trying to eliminate stress entirely, which is impossible. Focus on daily techniques to lighten the load. 5 minutes of deep breathing, quiet reflection, stepping outside for fresh air can reset the nervous system. Keeping a gratitude journal, calling a loved one, even tending to a small plant can bring moments of calm that strengthen resilience. The daily application of stress relief does not require hours of meditation or special equipment. It requires small, intentional pauses that keep the mind and body balanced. Connection is another powerful daily practice. Loneliness is one of the greatest risks to senior health, but it can be addressed with simple actions. Making a daily phone call, local class, or joining a walking group can foster a sense of belonging. Even brief interactions, chatting with a neighbor, greeting a store clerk, or writing a quick message can lift the spirit. By making connection a daily priority, seniors protect not only their emotional health, but also their physical well-being. Social ties are strongly linked to longer, healthier lives. Finally, mindset plays a crucial role in daily application. Each day, with curiosity and gratitude, transforms the experience of health. Instead of focusing on limitations, focusing on what is possible creates motivation to keep going. A daily affirmation, a few minutes of reflection, celebrating even the smallest progress reinforces the belief that change is happening. Over time, this positive perspective becomes its own powerful habit, fueling the willingness to continue making better choices. When health practices are broken down into small, repeatable steps, and stop feeling like chores and start feeling like natural parts of daily life. Eating a nourishing breakfast, walking after meals, drinking water regularly, resting wisely, pausing for calm, reaching out to others, and maintaining a positive mindset. These are the daily applications that build strong, steady health. Single action is overwhelming, but together they create a foundation for energy, mobility, and joy. Health is not about a complete overhaul overnight, is done consistently, one day at a time. The easier the application, the greater the results, and the sooner seniors begin to feel the freedom of moving and living with vitality.